Today I'm reviewing an action camera that costs less than £100 and it's probably the best 4K camera in this price range. Here are 15 reasons to buy the Campark V40. The first reason to consider buying a Campark V40 is that it's designed for vlogging, and you can tell that from this front-facing screen that makes sure you can compose your shot correctly and that you're in frame. That's very useful. Of course, it does have a wide-angle lens, 170 degrees wide coverage, so that's perfect if you're out and about vlogging as well, and it has a battery life that can go at least an hour and up to 2 depending on the settings that you're using. So, the heart of any camera setup is the sensor and lens combination, and on this camera, the Campark V40, the sensor is a Sony IMX179, which films at 4K 30 frames per second, and unlike a lot of cheap cameras, the 4K is genuine 4K. In addition, you've got the option to film in 2.7K, Full HD and 720p. The files will come out as MP4 and using the codecs of H.264 and H.265. The Campark V40 has some fun movie modes built into the camera. You can experiment with them to create interesting looks for your videos. And the same effects can also be applied to any photos. This is particularly useful if you don't have access to editing software on your computer. The V40 has 6-axis electronic image stabilization built into the camera. And as you can see here, it makes a big difference. The V40 is very well built. You can tell it's rugged and waterproof the moment you hold it in your hands. The battery compartment and the USB port are protected from water damage by rubber gaskets, and you'd have no problem if you took the device for a swim. If you're feeling even more adventurous, then Campark have included a dive case that will protect your camera all the way down to 40 meters underwater. This is what the camera sounds like in wind noise reduction mode. That's an electronic wind noise reduction that it does in camera using algorithms and clever electronic trickery. So how does this sound? Right now the wind is rustling the leaves and trees around me, and it probably is whipping past the camera, making things hard to hear, but is the wind noise reduction doing a good job? I suspect it is. Using the Campark V40 is very simple. On the outside it has just 3 buttons. Firstly, there's a power switch on the side. A long press turns the camera on or off, while a short press will activate the Wi-Fi connection. On top there is a shutter button to start and stop recordings, and in photo mode, pressing it will take pictures. Next to that is the mode button. A quick press switches the camera between photo and video mode. and a long press of the mode button switches between the front and back screens. The 2-inch touchscreen is very responsive, and the user menu is incredibly simple to use. To play back recorded video, just press on the bottom left. Press the middle of the screen to choose different photo and video modes, and the bottom right corner takes you into the main menu. From here you can set the video and photo resolutions and control the majority of other settings as well. The Campark V40 lets you download photos and video to your smartphone via Wi-Fi. However, if you want to do things the old-fashioned way, then the camera has both micro USB and micro HDMI outputs built into the device. The V40 is a versatile machine and lets you control many different settings manually. You can adjust the exposure compensation from -2 all the way to +2. There's an anti-flicker setting that can be calibrated to 50 or 60 Hz. It has 4 different white balance modes as well as auto. In addition, you can adjust the settings for screensaver, audible beeps, and auto power off. The V40 is a small and lightweight device. Even with a battery and memory card, the camera weighs just 128 grams. And it has a silhouette smaller than a credit card. The V40 comes bundled with more accessories than any other action camera. 2 batteries, a remote control that can trigger photos and video, 10 different GoPro style mounts, and as the V40 has a 1/4-20 thread at the bottom, you can easily attach it to standard tripods and mounts. And finally, the Campark V40 can be used as a dashcam. The loop recording mode will automatically overwrite the oldest video files once your memory card is full. In rough road conditions, you can choose to activate electronic image stabilization. However, this will slightly narrow your field of view. Even at sunset, the Campark V40 delivers a decent and usable video. However, once the sun goes down, the image quality diminishes, and you're better off using a dashcam with infrared capabilities. So that's it. 15 reasons to buy a Campark V40. And if you're planning to buy one, then you can get it direct from the Campark website. There's a link in the description. If you use the code JSharif, they'll give you a 15% discount. And in case you're wondering, this video is not sponsored, and Campark won't be paying me a commission if you buy a V40. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another video very soon.